Welcome back then to the Repton Sports Centre, where we are live for coverage of the FA National Futsal Series men's Tier 1 fixture today. Of course, there were 4 games played in the women's side of things yesterday, but 4 games from the men's Tier 1 today. And already we have seen the league leaders and reigning champions Bloomsbury run out 4-1 winners against Hartpury. Up next, we have York Vikings taking on Wessex. Well, here come the two teams then. Out onto the court in the background of the picture. As you can see there, it's Wessex in the purple strip and York Vikings in the red and black. Both teams in desperate need of picking up 3 points with a win here today. It's 8th against the 9th. The bottom two can be head-to-head in this particular clash. Let's run through how they line up there. So for York Vikings, they have Johnny Weng as their starting goalkeeper, Ramiro Monge, Mikey Bolmer, Jed Devine and Joe Eagledon make up the rest of the starting lineup. The substitutes for Junior Roberti's team today are Jack Riley, who's the replacement option as goalkeeper, Tom Blackburn, who's back in the squad after injury and back as captain, George Smith, Matthew Barber, Ben Roper and the returning Tiago Bucci. As for Wessex, Ben O'Hanlon starts as the goalkeeping option. Terry New, George Ramsey, George Nash and Jordan Matthews make up their starting lineup. The substitute goalkeeper is Charlie Budd. Caleb Hollow, Mark Milik-Campas, Harris Bazida, Anthony Barbosa, Jack Doncombe, Robbie Davenport and Fabio Pereira are the substitute options. Led of course by their head coach Jeff Bonner. Well, Louis, one game played today, perhaps tighter than we expected with the 4-1 victory for Bloomsbury. What are you expecting from this clash now? Both teams really need a win.
Yeah, you've mentioned that. Good morning, everyone. You've mentioned that already. Wessex have had a really dire start to the season, 5 losses, anchored to the bottom, and 1 team going down. We're now a 9-team league. York are in the position, if they can actually get 3 points, they'll be momentarily anyway in 5th place above Bolton. So some big stakes here for both teams. The league is the table's starting to form now, and if Wessex lose here, it's going to be a very long sort of next 4 or 5 games for them, because you know they've got tough games coming up, and this is a critical game. The players really need to show up for Wessex. You know, Jeff Bonner, he's a really good coach, but they just haven't been able to crack it. Jordan Matthews, who was their talisman last season, I think he got 17 goals. He's got 2 league goals. And we look at York, they've got a very young team. Junior Roberti, he's mentioned many times that it's a project. He wants to play in a certain way, and that's what he's going to do.
We are underway then. Wessex get us started. Terry New there on the receiving end of a very early foul. The first free kick of the game.
Terry New, he's obviously the captain, but a key player. He's very much the heartbeat of this team. He does a lot of work within the community as well with Wessex.
Here he is in possession. Forward in search of Jordan Matthews, but out in front of the York Vikings bench. Wessex, of course, as we mentioned, yet to pick up a point so far this season in the 5 games that they've played in the league. York also coming into this game off the back of 3 straight defeats. That's all competitions, 3 defeats in a row, having lost to East Riding in the Cup before then losing in the league to Hartpury and Manchester. Wessex here pressing high. York looking for the outlet. Jed Devine, the goalkeeper's a long way from home, but makes the save, well, really far out his penalty area, but it will go down as a stop because I think that was on target. Terry New was back behind him anyway and might have been there to make the block on the goal line, but well, it was adventurous goalkeeping, but good goalkeeping from Ben O'Hanlon. Monge. Devine steps onto it. Here's Ramiro Monge still. Well blocked though in close proximity to him in the end. There was no route through for him. Eagledon out to Mikey Bolmer. Bolmer steps inside, good block. Ramsey. Immediately already we will see Wessex change their goalkeeper, something that they so often look to try to utilise, with Charlie Budd coming on in possession. Hanlon as the out of possession goalkeeper, if you like, who will play more minutes than Charlie Budd, but in those sorts of situations when they've got a deep kick in, you'll often see Charlie Budd coming on.
Yeah, it's something that Jeff Bonner, he really believes in, and you know, as you say, he's done it consistently. So you need to have a good relationship between both the goalkeepers to understand their roles within each phase of that game.
Overlapping run there made by Eagledon. He shoots high though. It's Joe Eagledon there who actually has the captain's armband on for York. Tom Blackburn is listed as the captain, back on the substitute bench and the regular captain for this Vikings side, but Eagledon has taken on that responsibility with the absence of Blackburn. Suffered a serious injury at the back end of last season, Tom Blackburn, so just coming back to fitness. Seems as though Eagledon is the man then with the armband on. Matthews.
Despite his lack of goals this season, Jordan Matthews is still a really influential player for Wessex. And you feel that if there's going to be one player that's going to make it happen for them today, it's going to be Jordan Matthews.
Bulmer here, formerly of Bolton, of course. We'll see Bolton in action up next in the main TNT Sports game over on TNT Sports 3. Bolton face off with Maidenhead United. Mikey Bulmer made the switch to York and very much a key player for them now. Nicely taken by George Nash, and he gets the kick in. George Nash, the Wessex number 9, a lesser used player, certainly in the starting 5 for Jeff Bonner, but he's into the starting role today. Set short there for the strike, but it's only against Jed Devine.
I remember that Wessex, they lost 2 key players in Connor Miller and then Adam Barr. So those are 2 international players that they've lost.
Set there by Donkin for Matthews. Trickles back to O'Hanlon. Just over 2.5 minutes played, still York 0, Wessex 0 in this clash between the bottom 2. A game which they will both be targeting a victory from.
Good work there from Terry New. He got the press on and just managed to cut that forward pass out.
Bulmer. Eagledon in search of Monge. Ramsey on the turn though. York with more of the possession so far. Trying to take the game to Essex in these sorts of areas. Good block though, that time by Terrenu, who's always such a strong defender for Wessex in the side who so often have to defend in games. He's their main defender at the heart of what they do well.
And he's a player that needs to, or has to play a lot of minutes for Wessex. And good patience there from Wessex. They got their organisation right, forced York to play around them, and eventually it was a speculative ball which went out of play. So good work there from Wessex.
Yeah, a change of all 5 as well there, including the goalkeeper for Jeff Bonner's side.
The challenge here for York is, can they cut the pass off to the goalkeeper and make that a 2 versus 2?
That time it goes directly forwards, and Wessex get the route out that way. Goalkeeper's out of the area. When got there, did he? The referee says, well, if he did, it was after sliding through the man. And a yellow card shown to the Vikings goalkeeper. Seeing the replay yet. Good decision. Certainly takes out Harris Bazida first. contact with the ball, but it wasn't until after wiping out the Wessex man. And this is a really good position for the resultant free kick.
I think the fallout of that is that there's 34 minutes or 36 minutes still to play, and Johnny Weng's on a yellow card.
Taken across to Matthews, who was always likely to end up as the shooter from any system from the free kick. If he wasn't standing behind it directly, it was likely to be played across to him.
And we saw the beauty of futsal there, Isaac, where that free kick, they bring on Jordan Matthews for the free kick, and then he goes straight off, and then back to the 5 that were on the court prior to the free kick.
Yeah, the specific roles within that set piece, which we just saw taken. Now down the other end, flashed in front of the run of Divine. And the replay, but it was not the quality that we've seen from Jordan Matthews on numerous occasions from set pieces like that. Tiago Bucci, incidentally, is on for York. Was such an integral part of their promotion campaign. Moved to Helvetia, where he signed last season, but really played too much for the London club. He's back with York now, back home, as they say.
I think Junior Roberti was really happy about re-signing him.
Here he is now. Blackburn. Bulmer. Nicholson away from Pereira. Unable to find Bucci that time though, and maybe away on the counter-attack here, and what a goal from Haris Bazida. Well, it was all his own making as well, and how about the finish? 1-0 to Wessex.
Yeah, it was a great interception. This is a really driving run, really positive. Drew out the fix, and then it was a lethal finish. That interception there, that was critical. Great counter-attack, really direct, driving, and then gets a really powerful shot, goes high with the goalkeeper starting to go low.
Brilliant finish from Haris Bazida. It might get better here for Wessex as well. It very nearly did. Out to the edge of the penalty area, the goalkeeper, Johnny Weng, and sweeps that one up. But Wessex the side in front. Bulmer, York looking for an instant response. Blackburn. Blackburn in search of Bucci. Bulmer in search of Blackburn again, but Wessex might be away on the counter-attack again. It's a good ball as well, and it's a good save. And Johnny Weng there to deny George Ramsey, who was the man with the final Wessex touch.
Yeah, that was momentarily a 3 versus 1. York did well to get back, but they're looking really threatening on the counter-attack, Wessex.
Yeah, it's in those positive transition moments for Wessex where they've scored from and created their other opportunities from as well so far. York with work to do. No room for Barber.
Yeah, again, that was good cover there from Jordan Matthews. As the ball went through, he just tracked him through and then saw him out.
Yeah, that the prior opportunity for young George Ramsey. Taken on the chest there by Blackburn. It's a poor pass though, presented back to Terry New, who I'm not sure Blackburn knew was there.
Definitely didn't check his shoulder there.
Wessex with possession. Good watch this so far with 7 minutes played. Wessex a goal good. Free kick's given the way of Wessex. Ramsey, despite being the man who has been awarded the foul, is the player being spoken to there, perhaps just for a trailing arm in the aftermath into the face of Bulmer. Didn't seem deliberate.
No, I don't think Bulmer had too many issues with it either.
But prodding that one forward, he will quickly retreat.
It was fortunate it took an awkward bounce off the backboard there. If that had gone straight to the goalkeeper, it would have been interesting.
Corner leading the York charge forwards again. Blackburn denied that time by Bud.
Again, some really good goalkeeping there, Charlie Budd there. He read that, and look how close he was to the edge of the D.
Very risky for Wessex from the follow-up kick in with Barber working in a position with the goal not guarded. Just bounced off Barber, and he's got it again here. It's another piece of tremendous goalkeeping from Bud to cut out the ball to Devine. Now down the other way, Barbosa's after it. Won't be able to catch it. Long diagonal from left to right to pick out Jed Devine. So Hanlon that time. Goalkeeper who did well. Referee on the near side, who is Magnus Rasmussen, just indicating exactly where this should be taken from as a kick in rather than a corner, but it can be treated as one. Devine sending it straight in there. Just bounced away off the goalkeeper though. Into the path of Smith.
Yeah, I think Hanlon just got an important touch there, because otherwise that was going to the player on the second post. Smith was just waiting there.
Nash on the turn into a very dangerous area. Managed to deal with that. Pereira's touch taking it through to the goalkeeper.
Again, we just saw, just on the end of that clip there, Jordan Matthews, the way his movement was excellent. He just managed to get in front, but couldn't quite get a big enough touch to take it past the goalkeeper.
Still, Wessex threatening in front of the York goal when the space opens up for them, and there's too many spaces from York's point of view. Wessex to here exploit. It's New. Terry New, they're just turning and controlling the tempo of the game. Retained possession for his team. Devine collecting. Now Barber. Overlapping run from Smith wasn't used that time. Devine twisting, turning past Matthews, still Devine. Where's that one going to end up? Well, the goalkeeper who set low for the initial shot had to react quickly to turn that one over his crossbar.
Yeah, good work by Jed Devine to work the shooting opportunity. Terry New there getting the block, and it was a horrible ball for the goalkeeper to deal with.
Corner then. Eagleton sees it blocked, and again. Not for a third time though, but it was behind where Smith had positioned himself. Matthews maybe just ran out of options, so lofted it long. New wins it back. Only had it for a split second. Now Jed Devine. Devine on his less favoured right foot, trying to deliver into a central area. Nearly at the midway point now of this first half. Wessex still a goal up. Harris Bazida with that brilliant individual piece of play and the strike at the end of it. Back to Roper, didn't catch it how he wanted to, and Terry New here is away on the counter-attack. It's Terry New, and the goalkeeper makes contact again, and already on a yellow card, remember, but no foul given that time. It was wide of the target from New, and perhaps the fact that the shot was already in, just saving the goalkeeper from further punishment. And if a foul had been given there, you have to feel that the goalkeeper would have been off. It'd be an interesting one to see back.
Yeah, it was one of those situations going back to the set piece. It was a poor, as you say, a poor strike. It allowed the ball to end up in the goalkeeper's hand, which launched the counter-attack. And yeah, it would be interesting to see once we see this replay how much contact was made, if any, before the ball.
Roper there with the block. referee Carl Jones just ensuring that the 5 metres are afforded to the Wessex kick taker. Back to Matthews. Deflection, so corner.
Just going back to that point about the set pieces, we never want the goalkeeper to end up with the ball in their hands to launch that counter.
Oh, to the second post, and well, it was a really well worked Wessex move from that corner. Very close to converting for 2.
Great delivery there into the second post.
Just arriving a split second late at the back stick Pereira, but wasn't far off from connecting with it. Foul given. York here with the free kick themselves. Pickleton. Divine, may need to go 1v1 again, not that time. Pretty much has that weapon as an option though. So Divine, now here's Ramiro Monge. Pickleton. Possession, but Wessex keeping them at bay at the moment. Now Divine advancing forwards. Referee thought about giving that the way of York, but maybe the reaction of the York players in the end made the mind up for the referee. Ball from O'Hanlon, but out of play. What have you made of this opening quarter? Just over 10 minutes played now, Louis, and Wessex 1 goal up.
Yeah, I think the game's got a little bit cagey now. I think York have got themselves back into the game a little bit more after that goal. And I think it's both teams just looking for that opportunity. I think we need to see Jed Devine in the game a little bit more, because you've mentioned about his 1v1 abilities, and Wessex are dealing with him quite well, and obviously Wessex look the danger on the counter.
Yeah, that's certainly been their threat so far, and their goal came too, but it's a set piece for Wessex to defend at the moment, which they do succeed in doing so.
And I think the tactic at the moment for Wessex, with the goalkeepers changing, that hasn't quite paid off for them.
Monge. What again, feeding Divine, but he's been robbed of possession that time. It's Bazida once more. Good challenge though from Joe Eagledon. Really needed to time that correctly as well, and did. Bulmer. Monge now moving the ball quickly. With pace and purpose, York, but Divine's the man to give it away. Good tackle again from Eagledon.
Yeah,
we'll get the kick in.
We've just seen 2 high-class bits of defending there from Eagledon. Just kept his eye on the ball, didn't get phased by anything, and made that interception. Really good defending.
Here he is in possession now. Barber towards Eagledon via Divine.
Just thought Eagledon there was just a little bit late on his follow-through, and if he just went straight away after he played the pass, he might have got onto the end of that, but a good little inside pass there by Jed Devine.
Left on the line there for Fabio Pereira to take. Only coming back their way though, Divine held up by Barbosa. Still the opportunities there, but O'Hanlon able to hold on to it. Long distribution from the goalkeeper all the way over the top, and it found Bazida in the back line. Goalkeeper reluctant to try to claim, was backing off towards the goal line. It was an opportunity again that for Bazida. Difficult to make the most of on the turn, of course, but the space was there for him with the goalkeeper backtracking.
Yeah, just wonder whether Johnny Weng was a little bit concerned about maybe coming out to that, and he's on a yellow card. Any contact, or if he'd handled it outside the area.
Timeout here called then, as you can see now. Junior Roberti leading the York Vikings. Timeout, of course. And Wessex in together as well with Jeff Bonner. This timeout minute.
I think for Wessex, it's just about their organisation. You know, I think their Achilles heel has been over the last couple of seasons has been out of possession, where they've conceded goals that they'd probably rather not. And flipping it over to York, I think they're just looking at maybe how they can use this ball a little bit more efficiently. They're starting to get on top of the game. I think they're creating some good opportunities, but it's the final ball in the final third that's maybe hurting them. And I think this man, Jed Devine, is definitely going to be one of the big reasons. If they do unlock Wessex, he's going to be part of it.
Yeah, well, so far the Wessex door has stayed bolted shut. The task for York is to hold the opposition down. Deflects off Devine.
They just went into a 4-0 there, but there wasn't too much movement to try and get them out. I thought they had a pass to get out originally, but it wasn't taken, and then they got themselves turned and facing their own goal.
Lofty for the strike there for Fabio Pereira. Couldn't catch the ball how he wanted to.
That's better, they've got themselves out here.
Eagledon, nice parallel ball as well here from Ramiro Monge. The goalkeeper good enough to divert it away from goal.
Yeah, their movement was a lot better. They managed to switch the play, and just unfortunately, I think it was Jed Devine who didn't follow through here. He starts his run. Maybe they'd just gone straight away. Maybe he was just a bit too deep for that.
Monge in the aftermath, firing wide. Short from O'Hanlon. A loose touch though from Caleb Hollow, who's just been introduced. Pereira up and over the halfway line, still going there. Fabio Pereira. Not the first time that we've seen Wessex travel a long way with the ball and with purpose about how they're doing it as well. Had the option down the line there, Pereira, but opted to go alone.
Yeah, I think Barbosa was asking him the question, why didn't you play me in and then follow in?
Pereira goes for goal again. Lucci in the way to prevent a rebound. Closer to Hollow. Pereira loses out there to Bucci. Tiago Bucci gets the corner.
Yeah, that was excellent work from Bucci. He was trapped into the corner and made sure his team got something positive out of that.
All the way across to Bucci. Had to improvise, and it was always difficult. Now away on the counter-attack, it's Barbosa! It's a splendid finish from the Wessex number 10. Anthony Barbosa doubling the lead.
As you say, the ball into Bucci, it was really difficult. Tried to adjust, but another devastating counter-attack. There we see there, just caught the top of it, and it fell quite nicely into Barbosa's path. He's had a look round, he realised he's on his own, and then the deft finish, the goalkeeper, Johnny Weng, he went down, and we spoke about in the previous game where we asked players to go high, and that is a great finish with the outside of his foot. Bit of daylight here for Wessex.
Yeah, composed in front of goal there, Barbosa, but at the other end, Bucci sliding in, but not able to turn the ball in. And it seemed for all the world as though that was going to be one back for York. The game's been stopped. I think the goalposts have been shifted.
I think Bucci's got his foot caught in the net here, and he couldn't get out. So we see there, and then he's trying to struggle to get out. Eventually he's been released.
Yeah, well, it was Tiago Bucci involved in the moment prior as well, the Wessex goal to make it 2-0, and really the worst possible outcome from that corner for York. It would have been a whole lot better had Bucci just fired high, fired wide, anything to just reset, but the way in which the ball dropped for the counter-attack to be set alight, it was taken advantage of by Anthony Barbosa, who still, we must emphasise, had a whole lot of work to do. And travelling forwards in the finish as well to beat the goalkeeper. Really composed. Wessex are well worth their 2-goal advantage. Ramsey, foul. Or York frustration.
Yeah, just going back to the goal, you're spot on there, Isaac, because he got the ball, he looked up, he had a little look to the right, he saw he had no help, so he then realised it's all on me, and he drew the keeper in, sat him down, and then it was a really, really high-class finish. Certainly for if young players are watching, to have a look at that and what he did there, learn from that.
Jeff Bonner, the Wessex coach there, just telling his goalkeeper to get back, because York were looking to take the kick in perhaps a little quicker than they actually were able to do. 5 minutes 24 seconds left now. The clock reads. The scoreboard reads in favour of Wessex. 2 goals. Bucci can't sidestep Matthews. Wessex get the call on the kicking.
Probably not surprising they've got Jordan Matthews and Terry New on the court with this stage of the game. They just need to focus now and make sure they do all the out of possession stuff really well and stop York from getting the next goal in this game.
Yeah, important moments, aren't they, now before half time? 5 minutes but we still have to play.
Psychologically, Wessex have worked really hard to get themselves in this position.
Yeah, they wanted to throw it away before half time. Nash. Matthews through the legs of Eagledon, but wayward of Ramsey. Here's Monge. Blocked though, and if York are having to resort to long-range efforts like that, then Wessex are doing something right. Bulmer now though, right across the face of goal, and Terry New was happy to see it behind.
Yeah, good work there by Terry New as well. He gets himself inside the line of the post just in case the goalkeeper gets beaten.
Did take a deflection off Matthews. And the corner correctly given. Good spot by the referees.
I'm sure some players will disagree with me, but I think so far the refs this morning in both the games have done really well. They've got, I think, all the key decisions right, and they've played the advantage properly. I'm sure Mark Burkett will be recording that phrase as I've said it.
Yeah, well, I mentioned Nikolaj Seidai, who was the near-side official in the previous game. Magnus Rasmussen, also a Danish official, across to officiate this weekend.
And I think players appreciate also how the referees manage the game as well. You know, they manage the people in the game. And I think that can really help in terms of the flow of the game and how the players are, their demeanour in the game.
Wessex kicking. Another substitution as well as Jack Donkin returns. New bypasses Donkin that time to find Matthews. Matthews continuing on. Corner. It's a really good ball to find Bucci. It's just that final pass for York, that final piece of quality in the final third, that seems to be lacking at this point.
Yeah, I think if Wessex are getting Bucci to take shots from there, then they're doing a good job. What they don't want to do is get him inside the D and allow him to cause havoc.
Again, it's another block, but a relatively simple one, and Terry New was behind to make that similar block if needs be as well. It's a well-protected Wessex goal, at least up until this point. Bulmer. Eagledon back for Blackburn. Bulmer again. Blackburn edging closer now. Finally, the effort has taken down a bit of the Sports Centre, which has absolutely cannoned onto the floor there.
that'll just be exactly what Chris Park in the chair of the NFS won't want to see. That's going to add a few quid onto the bill.
Yeah, well, it probably sums up York's efforts on goal so far, really, and being high or wide of the target. They have forced a couple of saves from the two Wessex goalkeepers when interchanging between O'Hanlon and Budd. Both of those have made saves, but there's another opportunity, just as I was speaking there, for York again, and Mikey Bulmer again, though it's off target. But really, the large majority of shots that York have had either haven't been difficult for the goalkeeper to deal with, or they haven't had to deal with them at all because they've been off target. So they need to increase their level of prolificity in front of goal.
There was a lot of risk attached to that pass. It might have done him a favour that he went out of play.
Barber back across for Blackburn. Barber again. Step overs, and that's a good save from O'Hanlon that time. Better accuracy on the strike. It was destined for the top corner.
Yeah, we saw there York trying to move the ball from side to side to create that opportunity. And it definitely needed a save there.
Way across to Barber, struck that one sweetly. Couple of efforts for him in quick succession. Bulmer sets for Blackburn. He just drags it wide, but the referee spotted a touch.
This is a great spell of possession for York at the moment. We're going towards the end of the first half, and they need to start making some of this count.
I think he just clipped the heel of Terry New on the way through.
I want a little bit quicker. I need to go to a flat, okay? Thank you.
Matthews direct that time, but straight through to Weng. Wessex now will be desperate to take this 2-goal advantage, at least this 2-goal advantage, into half-time. They need to keep it intact. Blackburn, good block. That time, George Nash, the man in the way. The follow-up strike wasn't too far wide either.
And it's a one-way traffic at the moment with York, and Wessex having to really get these blocks in and try and protect this 2-goal lead before half-time with just over 2 minutes to go now. Really big moments in the game here.
Barber unleashes again. Palm behind once more.
Yeah, momentarily though they had a 3 versus 1, but then O'Hanlon with the cover.
Coming there of the resultant set piece. It begins the 4-second count. Completely entitled to do so. Matthews. Longer option again. It was a really good ball from Matthews. It's been spilled by the goalkeeper, but it's a good recovery from Johnny Weng there to deny Harris Bazida.
Yeah, that is an excellent save, because once we see that the touch he makes here, it spills out, and then the distance he's got to cover to get that block in, that is a brilliant save there from Johnny Weng.
York over the halfway line again. 90 seconds left now of this first half. So nearly there has been 3-0 to Wessex, and I have to say, if that goal had come for them, it would definitely have been against the run of play, given what we've seen in the last 5 or so playing minutes. But they've soaked this pressure up and still created themselves a chance on the counter-attack.
I'd have to say this is probably one of the best defensive displays I've seen from Wessex for a while. They're definitely, everyone's understanding their role, doing their jobs.
Bulmer. Divine. Goalkeeper's ball.
And at the moment, York just haven't quite cracked this code to try and beat this Wessex defence.
Long throw out again. Found its way all the way through to the opposition's penalty area. 58 seconds it is to left on the clock now. Bulmer kept it in play to begin with, but prevents it from crossing the byline. Zida taking short. No foul given. Wessex are allowed to continue. Davenport, who's on for the closing stages of this first half, involved there. He's getting back now. It's Jed Devine. And again, the goalkeeper's done really well.
Yeah, Ben O'Hanlon, he stayed up, waited to see what Jed Devine was going to do and matched it.
Yep, close down the angle. Barber. Blackburn. York now changing the angle. Bulmer. Blackburn again. Everybody back inside the Wessex penalty area from the defensive point of view there. It's inviting pressure on their goal in terms of the long range strikes, but they back themselves to either block or have their goalkeeper make a save. Again to Devine, who was the original corner taker, and there's a pull back there as well, but the advantage being played. It's a stop by Weng. The rolling foul will be added to the count, but there might be a chance down the other way. Blackburn, last second of the half, and there goes the buzzer. And Wessex, well, do get through to half-time. There will be a yellow card shown to Jed Devine, who I don't think can really have too many complaints about the showing of that. A definite pullback on Robbie Davenport as he broke clear over the halfway line. Weng bailing him out, but ultimately at half-time it's York who have problems to solve, and Wessex are in the driving seat here. Harris Bazida with the first goal, Anthony Barbosa with the second, and it's 2-0 to Wessex at half-time, Louis.
Yeah, I think Wessex, they've had the key moments of the game with the counter-attack. We see this first interception and driving out really wide and then creating that shooting angle. Johnny Weng goes, I think he just goes down too early, and we see here this little look up, and then I'm just going to drive on, push that ball out wide, pushes Bulmer out wide, can't make any block. Johnny Weng is close to the ground and he spots that and puts it in the roof of the net. Really good play here, positive, direct, good acceleration to create that shooting angle. And then this mistimed strike. And then Barbosa with the lifted finish. Sets the goalkeeper. At some point, Weng has to go and set himself. And that's the moment. Just caught on the right foot. And a high quality finish that gives Wessex the 2-goal lead.
Yeah, and really in control now at half-time, and so much defending as well to see them through to the midway point. They've got there with the 2-goal lead intact. That was a really good save from Weng, and the opportunity that could have brought about the 3rd goal for Wessex, but on that occasion Weng able to make the recovery after the initial error and the spillage of the ball away. Zida must have thought he was going to score as it came back his way. And the pullback just before half-time, that's the replay of what the yellow card was shown for against Devine. And that really was the final action of the first half. So there's the half-time score for you at the midway point. It's York Vikings 0, Wessex 2.
Welcome back into the second half here.
Welcome back then to the National Futsal Series, the men's Tier 1 games today, brought to you from the Repton Sports Centre in Derby. This is 8th in the league against 9th in the league. The bottom two in York Vikings and Wessex coming head to head here. You can see Wessex there already back out onto the court, and it's so far so good for Jeff Bonner's side. Wessex in that first half, a 2-goal advantage courtesy of first Harris Bazida with a brilliant individual goal, and Anthony Barbosa, who did the rest after winning the ball back off Tiago Bucci from a York set piece. 2 counter-attacking goals, and it could have been 3 as well, but for a Johnny Weng stop right at the end of that first period. So Wessex look good for their lead then at half-time. Louis, how do they go about this second period in ensuring that York can't get back into the game?
Well, I think the first thing is they need to continue to defend as they have. They've been really industrious. They've got their blocks in. The goalkeepers have made the saves when they needed to. Their recovery runs have been good. They just need to keep on that track. The problem for York, I think, is how do they crack this at the moment. I think they just need to move the ball a bit quicker, find those spaces. Jed Devine needs to be in the game a bit more, and I think that's just really need to focus on those areas, because I think, you know, Jed Devine's a really great 1v1 player, and just trying to create that opportunity, one chance, and it changes the momentum of the game. You know, we always speak about it, about how goals change games, and I think really now for York, they just need to find a way. They need to be patient for sure. You know, they don't need a goal straight away. There's a long way to go in this second half, and I think they just need to be patient. And Wessex, they've got to carry on as they were, and they'll probably get a few more counter-attacking chances, and they just need to take those if they're going to see these 3 points through.
Yeah, well, it definitely feels as though, given the first half and how that played out, 2-0 at half-side, the next goal in the game could be a big one, really. If York get it, then 2-1, a comeback is very much on the cards at that stage if they can get the next goal, York. But if Wessex make it 3-0, then, well, the task is at that stage going to become a lot more difficult for York, and Wessex will really have that 3-goal advantage if they do get it to protect. It's important moments in the game at the start of the second half. It could be a crucial goal, certainly if it comes early on in the half, if York are looking to mount a comeback. Here's Barber backing away at the start of this second half. York, of course, attacking the goal to the left of the picture in this second period. Ramsey's ahead of the ball, needs to get back. Here's Barber now. O'Hanlon right at the edge of the area again, and just pounces upon it. Keeps hold of the ball.
Yeah, maybe Barber could have taken that first time, but that extra touch allowed O'Hanlon to come out and again close the space down.
3v1 here momentarily. It was 3v2, I beg your pardon, as Terry New was back there as well, but it was a little bit wasteful nonetheless from the York man with the armband. Joe Eggleton there had options both sides. I'm sure if he had the opportunity back, he might have chosen to either play the pass left or pick the one right.
I think he just gave a little apology to Jed Devine because he was free on the right-hand side of the court, and a little flick pass, and I think he was in.
Devine away from Matthews. York looking lively at the start of this second period. Barber rounds the goalkeeper. It's cleared off the line, but it's still there. Devine puts it in through the legs of New on the line, and it's the perfect start to the second half for York Vikings. 2-1, game on.
Well, we spoke about Jed Devine's 1v1 qualities, and there we saw it. He drifted past Jordan Matthews, and then he carried his run on, and then the little step back. There we see him go. He beats Jordan Matthews, gets the little toe poke pass, pulls it past O'Hanlon. They get a fortunate rebound, but Jed Devine there, his run takes him into the danger area, and he scores right on cue.
Yeah, well, the first goal in the second half then has come early inside the first 90 seconds of this second period. There's a long, long way to go yet. York with their tails up. If Wessex were planning on defending for the entirety of this second period, that might have already been shown to them and have been proved to be a risky business.
And what things like that do to the team is it just raises the energy levels of just the team, the bench, just the whole effort that's being put into that really does lift the team.
Corner.
Now the question is, how are Wessex going to respond?
The Jed Devine goal, which has boosted York Wessex will need to ensure that it doesn't deflate there. Eagledon. Oh, it ricochets through again. The goalkeeper able to react. And they're away on the counter-attack as well. Turning defence into attack, and Wessex score. Well, York just had nobody back there covering, and Harris Bazida grabs himself his second of the game.
Well, we spoke about the breakaway goals, the counter-attack goals, and here we do. Great work from Bazida, draws him out, creates the angle, and then a quality finish. He had a lot of work to do there. And we spoke about a response. Well, there it is from Wessex.
Just the response that Jeff Bonner wanted from his side. Harris Bazida had only scored one goal so far this season in all competitions. Well, he's backed himself a brace already today. Wessex with the 2-goal advantage now restored.
Yeah, I think York there, they thought they had a great chance from the set piece and they just couldn't quite finish it, the clearance. And as you say, no one was back and it ended up in a 1v1, and Harris Bazida again showing his quality there to restore that 2-goal lead.
Yeah, York perhaps just guilty of overcommitting further forwards and going in search of the equalising goal. A little too much from that set piece in terms of committing players right forward into the penalty area, but on the counter-attack it was clinical again from Wessex and Bazida.
And what that goal has also done for Wessex, it's just given them a chance to reset and reset their focus.
Absolutely, when they needed a mental reset most, Harris Bazida's goal has certainly provided them with one.
As you said, there's a, we've had 3 minutes and it seems a lot has happened already, but there's a hell of a long way to go in this game.
Brilliant ball from the goalkeeper. Riley here to find Barber. Change of goalkeeper at half-time for York to be mentioned. Jack Riley, the player who's come on at the other end for Johnny Weng. Riley's a long way from home there, but did well. Save again for Riley in the Vikings net. Here's Ballmer now away on the counter. Trying to find Divine.
They're doing really well in their recovery runs, Wessex. They're just really committing to those and making sure they get back, leaving nothing out there.
Ballmer. Back to him via Barber. Slipped away by Davenport. Divine past Davenport, but not the second Wessex defender.
Yeah, again, the cover there was excellent, mopping up the mess.
Ballmer opted against the parallel that Divine had offered him. Here is Jed Divine now, though. Barber again edging closer. Here York.
It's a good spell of possession for York.
Nothing coming of it in the end, though. It's back with the goalkeeper, but the pressure will once again be mounted on the Wessex goal.
It's gone very much into defence mode again, Wessex.
Oh, good diagonal there to find Divine. He just lost his footing, though. Sets it back. Really well done by Jed Divine, who had to make the most of it after stumbling to begin with. Set up the opportunity, and the goalkeeper made the save. Five gone in this second half. A lot's happened. Here's Barber. Blackburn. Blackburn helping it on its way again. Barber. Ballmer wanted it back. Comes the way of Barber instead. He goes all the way back.
This is good from York. They're up in the tempo of the game. The ball speed's increasing, moving Wessex around.
Yeah, it's difficult work for this Wessex out of possession. Barber toying with the Wessex defender. Tackled by Anthony Barbosa.
They just need to keep probing like this, just wait for someone to switch off and they can get that pass through or that run through.
That's not the ball that they were looking for. Matthews. Still Jordan Matthews. Riley with the save.
He did well there, Riley, because he started to set himself, and Jordan Matthews, I think he went for the lob, but the keeper was still high enough to get something on it.
Yeah, it just came off his head, I think, the goalkeeper, but saved it nonetheless. Time for this corner. Terry New takes it short. Duncan seems to be the man that Wessex are turning to. There's a short option from so many of these set pieces. Matthews will strike that one. I thought for a moment it was going to hit the back of the net.
Yeah, he just struck across the border slightly, but it was nonetheless it was a good effort.
Monge preparing to come back on. Nash. Blackburn there to get to the ball. All the way across, but didn't run to Bucci. Here's New. It's a foul. First of the second period.
Yeah, Terry New did brilliantly here. You know, we have to be honest, he's not the quickest, but he's held the ball up and then gets taken out there. And they've got themselves a free kick in a decent position.
Yeah, in a central position too, which provides multiple options. For Matthews, direct effort on the York goal, but not on target. Bucci, in search of Monge, the goalkeeper handled the ball there right on the line. Blackburn's offer rejected, instead it came to Mikey Bulmer. He wasn't able to pick the pass he wanted.
Yeah, you can see just trying to play it into Bucci's left foot there, so hopefully he could turn and spin and get the shot off, but too wide.
Good claim by Jack Riley. The onus very much on York to take the game to Wessex. Wessex in these sorts of areas, once the ball is in these sorts of areas, will be comfortable out of possession. Bulmer here to Bucci on the turn. Still Thiago Bucci. Good stop again from O'Hanlon, who stood firm to the 1v1 battle.
Yeah, I thought York again did really well there to move them around, get that opportunity to play into Bucci, and Bucci almost worked at a bit of magic there. But O'Hanlon with the headed clearance.
Yeah, it was another headed save, wasn't it? Saw one from Riley down the other end, and O'Hanlon, who's played really well today with the save there again. Matthews intercepting that time. Now Nash. Matthews clipping a good ball forward there to find Ramsey. With Riley. Monge. Bucci. Maybe ran out of options, ideas. Ultimately kicking.
think what Wessex are doing really well is they're wherever the ball is, they're compact and they're really making it difficult to get those passes through.
Blackburn again looking for the diagonal, but when there's so many bodies in the central area, that's going to be difficult to find. Maybe the spaces in wider areas really for York to exploit. They've got an overload here, back across, Blackburn, again it's saved. Blackburn once more though, and he finds the net on the rebound. It's the game's 5th goal, it goes to York, it's 3-2.
Yeah, I love this finish because he's taken the first time shot. As it comes out, he has a little look and it's the dink and it just gets over Terry New, and that's another high quality finish there. A little bit unfortunate for O'Hanlon that it rebounds to Blackburn, but he does the business on the second attempt.
York might beat away again here. It's Monge back across. Bucci was there still for Monge. Wessex can breathe a big sigh of relief again. Devine at the heart of it. It just wasn't bundled in. Good defending between the goalkeeper and the recovering man Davenport. They did enough between them.
Yeah, and I think to be fair to York, that they're playing the last 5 or 6 minutes has definitely warranted that goal. They've really taken it to Wessex. Wessex have had to do a lot of defending.
Bucci in the penalty area. Devine. Eagledon. Blocked by Bazida. Eagledon didn't control on the return ball back to him. Not the best of passes that time. Monge away from Bazida. Monge asking for it back. It was a poor ball though really on the return from Devine. Devine going down wide right that time.
Davenport did well there to match him.
Monge with the effort. York now though really beginning to turn the screw and ask more questions of the Wessex defence. It's been a much improved second half display from York. They had a lot of the ball in the first period, but on occasion didn't really do much with it. It was a rarity for them to create a really good chance. They've created good chances in this second half. Forced good saves from the goalkeeper. Devine, oh, it's against the post. Well, you can't come much closer to the equaliser than that.
That's great work by Jed Devine, and I think he thinks the goalkeeper got a touch on it.
Yeah, the kicking's gone Wessex's way, but they weren't able to keep the ball. Monge steps inside and finds the bottom corner. Well, how about that for a piece of individual brilliance from Ramiro Monge and Rebackle Square?
Yeah, I think this is really deserved for York. They've been knocking at the door now. He creates that space with the shift and shoot, and that's how you manoeuvre a defender, and a high quality finish. Here we see he's just setting him, shifts it out wide, gets the shot off, and O'Hanlon no chance on that one. Loads of power.
Yeah, breezed past Mark Millet-Campas, who's the number 4 who came on there for Wessex. But still had an awful lot to do with picking out the corner on the finish. Matthews, chance! Not far wide.
Some great work there by Jordan Matthews on the wing. Turns him, gets the shot off, but just wide of the post. Just heard Junior Roberti there on the effects mic, you know, watch what they're doing, focus, be aware.
Yeah, York, remember, conceded just after scoring in this half. They need to ensure that they do the same again. Suddenly, Wessex have themselves a bit of possession. Having created that Jordan Matthews opportunity as well, it's looking a little bit more bright. It's almost as if when they concede, they know they've got to go and respond. New. He wants a corner, but he's not going to get it.
Both teams showing they've got the qualities here to open each other up. Some great movement there from Terry New and Jordan Matthews connecting. Those two have got a good understanding.
Got short left from the goalkeeper for York to play out, and they have played out really well. It's forward to Monge again! And it's 2 goals in a matter of as many minutes for Ramiro Monge. York have turned this one around. They lead 4-3.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We're probably not going to go back far enough on that replay, but I think the first line press, was that really necessary on the goalkeeper, because then that allowed the overload to start it, and it just escalated from there. And an absolutely clinical finish there.
From 2-0 down, from 3-1 down, York are 4-3 ahead, but not for long. And Wessex are immediately back level. Well, disarray in the York defence, and it's all level again. Jordan Matthews, the scorer. As we'll show you again on the replay, it's Nash involved, sets up the chance for Matthews, rounds the goalkeeper, and the 2 sliding defenders back on the line, couldn't keep it out, 4-4.
Yeah, the critical bit there with Nash getting that ball through, and then Jordan Matthews has still got a lot of work to do. We know he's a high quality finisher, we know he's got that on in his game, but it's a tremendous amount of work, and he's finished brilliantly there. And what a game this is turning into.
It really is, isn't it? 8 goals now, split equally. But the concern at the moment is for York's star man, really, Jed Devine, who's down. Being seen to at the moment. It's a stoppage in play with 8 minutes and 38 seconds left.
Yeah, I think it was just a coming together, wasn't it, on the challenge there. And I think he's just come off the worst.
Yeah, seems to be down and in some pain there, Devine. It would be a big miss if he can't continue for the remainder of this game.
I don't know if it was the initial contact or when he fell on the floor that's caused this stoppage.
Yeah, an instantaneous response though from Wessex to bring the game back level again. You have to credit their mentality as well, and perhaps question York's in the way that York have gone a goal up and completed the turnaround. But okay, the turnaround's complete, but the job wasn't done. The job at that stage is far, far from done. Conceding straight from the kickoff is the worst possible restart for them.
I've actually had discussions with coaches about substitutions once you've scored, and is there a case for taking off those 4 players once they've scored because you're still invested in the goal? We see it in sports like ice hockey where a team scores and then that line is replaced completely with a fresh line, and whether that is worth thinking about with your team. You know, only you as a coach know your team and how they react and how quickly they can get back into the game, but it's something worth that teams might think about, whether we've just scored, are we too still emotionally high and not focusing on, and we've seen at least 2 instances today where that's happened in the game, where a goal has been responded by another goal. And it sounds like that Jed Devine's okay. He's certainly being helped off.
Yeah, being helped off, I think, is the case for Jed Devine, and I'm surprised if he takes any further part in proceedings today, given what we can see there. Is it the knee or the calf, perhaps, that is more of the issue? It's being helped to raise that left leg, but it's a lengthy stoppage it's turned into after the scoring of that latest Wessex goal. Jed Devine off injured. It's a double blow really for York in conceding to lose one of their star men too. Back to the action, here's Ballman. Ballman with it again, as Jeff Bonner's deep in conversation with all of those on his substitutes bench. Matthews getting to it.
Well, he might be thinking about the impact of Jed Devine possibly not returning, how that might change their approach to the game. what it allowed them to do in terms of maybe increasing the pressure.
Yeah, just a reminder, York on 4 points going into this game. Wessex rooted to the bottom of the table. All defeats for them. It's a really big game in the greater context and scheme of the season. Still, it hangs here in the balance. Just under 8 minutes of playing time now remain.
Yeah, I think this is a really difficult game to call now. Although, you know, with Jed Devine out, I think that certainly takes out a big influence from the York team.
Yeah, another save there, just as you were speaking, Louis, for Ben O'Hanlon, the Wessex goalkeeper, who has remained on for the large majority, if not the entirety of the second half so far. We saw the switches between O'Hanlon and Budd in that first half. Barber's effort there closed down. Barber with the roll back there to Bulmer. Now Blackburn. Monge stepping onto it. Two Wessex defenders in the way. He's done well doubling up at times today, Wessex, but that of course should mean that there's a spare York man somewhere. Again, it's Terry New with a trademark block like that. Bulmer again blocked by New. They're asking for handball, but honestly, the number of blocks that Terry New makes in any given game must be sky high. Blackburn there just to have been fouled. It's the first Wessex infringement in the second period.
I should imagine he's got a few bruises on a Monday morning, Terry New.
Here's Barber. It's Matthews, I think, who got to the ball that time and came away with it.
Yeah, just going back to your point about Ben O'Hanlon, it is noticeable that they've abandoned the tactic of bringing Charlie Budd on in possession to try and help them get out. I think they've realised that they're doing an awful lot of defending, and trying to change the goalkeepers may not be their best strategy.
Yeah, it's a more risky business, isn't it? Changing the goalkeeper and playing out with the goalkeeper as well. Perhaps that's part of the thinking in the mind of the manager in keeping O'Hanlon in goal. A really solid display, though, from the first choice goalkeeper, really, isn't he? O'Hanlon in starting the game and playing the majority of it. Six kicking. Ramsey back to Nash. Under pressure there from Monge, who perhaps sensed an opportunity to get his toe in and get to the ball. Donkham. Barber there likewise increased the intensity of the pressure. Matthews not pinpoint that time.
Yeah, I think that was a result of also some good pressure on the ball, forcing him to play that. He wanted to play it a little bit straighter, but yeah, that angle wasn't on.
Monge. Forward to Barber. Palm behind for the corner. Terry New back on for Wessex. It's set for Ramiro Monge on a hat-trick now, of course, but he's going to complete it with an effort like that.
Yeah, I think Terry New was hoping to get a little bit of a breather there, but Jack Donkham went down, so Terry New got the call again.
Long from O'Hanlon. It's a bit of a mix-up at the back, and it's headed in. It's George Nash with the headed finish, and Wessex are back ahead.
Well, that was an interesting throw. I'm not sure how much he meant that to go directly there, but the delivery was pinpoint, and he's managed to react the best. It went up, he couldn't quite get the contact on it, Riley, and Nash first to react and gets a rare-headed goal in futsal.
Yeah, certainly a rarity, but an extremely welcome one for Wessex, and we do now see Charlie Budd come on. With Wessex back in front, it will perhaps be a goal that questions the goalkeeper as well, Riley, who made a bit of a mess of things at the back and allowed for Nash to head past him into the net, which was ultimately then empty as well. But it was a long throw out from the goalkeeper and well, taken advantage of.
Yeah, I'm not sure, Riley just lost focus or concentration, but didn't really seem committed to that challenge.
Yeah, well, sometimes you need a little bit of fortune when struggling at the bottom of the league table, and Wessex maybe have got their share there, but they deserve it given the effort that they've put into it as well. Barber here, still more defending to do. Monge! It's saved by the goalkeeper on the line, and it's Charlie Budd with a big stop off the bench to join the 5 on court to play as a more useful in possession player. But what a big save that is.
Yeah, nice ball inside, first block, back up, and then the second block onto the post.
Yeah, it's a double save from Charlie Budd, and you can see him being congratulated, thanked more than anything else by those on the Wessex substitute bench, as he's once again off O'Hanlon.
Yeah, I think those are key moments in the game, making those blocks and saves. You heard the roar from the bench as he made that. It was almost as loud as one of the goals they scored. Critical save.
Matthews, Nash on the turn, just rising too high. Bucci turning away that time. The goalkeeper is adjudged to have been fouled by the referee on the near side. O'Hanlon quick out of his penalty area. Alert to the danger there as Bucci turned away on the halfway line.
Yeah, it was a tough one there for the refs. I think it's a kicking that's been given.
Yeah, it does look like the kicking was given because the foul hasn't been added to the count. So you're right there, Luke. Just the kicking for the restart rather than the free kick being awarded.
There was a good diagonal ball in there, and Riley did well to come and shut the space down.
So it did there again to a really dangerous area from that kicking. It was Barbosa stepping onto it. Palmer collecting short. Barber with the step over, and still Barber. Good block though. Donk him in the way that time.
Yeah, I think we're getting into the fun zone of this game. We're just under 4.5 minutes. York have actually invested a lot in this game, and they'll want to come away with something. Although Wessex desperate for all 3 points. 1 point won't be enough for them.
Big minutes ahead here. And the battle to stay in the top flight. All the way across. Bulmer. Still Bulmer. It's only a whisk away.
Yeah, it'd have been interesting to see if Ben O'Hanlon could have got to that if it just been inside the post, because he'd set himself and was planted, and I'm not sure he could have got off his left foot there to try and make that save. Again, a bit of a misunderstanding there between the goalkeeper and the fix. Allowed the header, there was no coverage on the goal.
It was a risky one again. Long and direct this time, looking for Bucci, who's back on. Bucci here takes charge of the kicking. Back to Barber. Bulmer. York led this game, remember. They'd completed the comeback at one stage. They were 4-3 up. They've got to find an equalising goal again.
Jordan Matthews just getting a rest there. It's going to be interesting to see, with 3:37 to go, how many more minutes Terry New's going to play.
Oh, Charlie Budd's giving the ball away. It's really risky. It's there for Bucci. The advantage being played still for Thiago Bucci. And it's brought back for the push. And it's going to be a York free kick.
Yeah, I think that was the challenge there.
Good position. Once again here for York. Indeed, it was the second challenge that the free kick's been given for. So 2 fouls there added to the count. Takes Wessex on to 3. Rightfully done by the referee on the far side.
Big moment here.
Charlie Budd here stays on despite that error. All the way across, and York score! It's Matthew Barber when York badly needed a goal. He comes up with one. 5-5.
Well, we said big moment here, and they've worked this really well. Hits it first time inside the post. Terry New will be a bit disappointed with himself, not just covering that on the near post, but with 3:25 to go, I'm not sure that Wessex can just sit here with a point. They've got to go for the 3.
Yeah, well, the point here is much more beneficial for York than it is for Wessex, even just given the fact that a point for York is taking 2 off Wessex. All the way across. Just evades Barber, though. The goalkeeper here, O'Hanlon, will make his way off. We've seen Wessex respond really well twice in this game, twice in the second half, to conceding goals. They've got to do it again here. All level, 5 each, 3 each on the fouls. 3 minutes to play. Bucci, there's an option to the right still, but Bucci will go alone. Certainly enough power behind the strike, but just not quite the accuracy. Out for the kicking.
Yeah, for Wessex, after this, in the next fixture they'll face Bolton, and then they play Bolton again, and then they'll face Loughborough. So they've got and then Maidenhead United. So they've got a really tough set of fixtures coming up. So they're desperate to get these all 3 points.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't get any easier for Wessex. They stayed up last season, of course, via the relegation playoffs. No such route to staying in the Tier 1 division this time around. It really needs the 3 points here, but it's York who are applying the most pressure at the moment. Bulmer. Bucci. This week got her foot and improved in the end.
Yeah, Pereira did well to just force him out to get him on his left foot. O'Hanlon's back in goal. Just over 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, the clock continuing to tick down for every second that the ball's in play. Nash back to his feet. Maintains possession. Pereira all the way across again here to George Nash. How much have Wessex got left in the tank, given the work that they've had to do out of possession as well? Right from minute 1, Barbosa gets himself in a bit of trouble. Gets out of it.
We're going to have a goalkeeper change again. Charlie Budd coming on.
Budd going long and finding Terry New on the turn here as the pivot further forward. Terry New. Wessex corner.
They need to set this up properly. This is a good opportunity here with just over 90 seconds to go.
Taken short, the angle wasn't there really very beneficial at all, but it might be beneficial for York on the counter-attack. Monge, it's turned away in unorthodox style by O'Hanlon, but it's done the job. Matthews, still Matthews, gets it all wrong. end to end and then back again, but nobody able to find the finish. Goalkeepers come out of the penalty area with the headed clearance away.
This is a bit like two heavyweights slugging it out in the final minute of the final round, trying to find a knockout punch. Wessex desperately need this. They need the extra 2 points. One, I don't think it's just enough for them.
We're into the final minute. Monge, will there be a winning goal? Barber against Barbosa. To a central area, that's a foul for the lunge. It's the correct decision as well for the nature of the challenge we saw there from Blackburn. When jumping into it made it really irrelevant if he got to the ball or not.
I think the ref had to give that. I think the ball from Barber there, just behind Blackburn, and if it had been in front of him, it might have been a better opportunity.
Matthews. 38 seconds. Carrera. Barbosa. Carrera again, not the best control. Has it again and had space to turn into there, but opted against that. Not sure he knew the space was behind him, but Wessex have still worked this well. Nash, Matthews, good save. On the follow-up, it's cleared off the line. It's still there, but it's a chance squandered. And well, you have to feel that that was the moment for Wessex. Over the top of the crossbar. Huge opportunity. Goes begging.
And I don't understand, when he plays that pass, why doesn't he just continue his run? Huge moment there.
Yeah, the timeout called here very late on, but it seems as though it's likely to finish square. Still 5-5. The big chance for George Nash on the follow-up as he skied the ball over the bar. Maybe just a rush of blood to the head, but well, that will be one that Wessex look back on. Certainly, well, if they go down by a couple of points this season, think back to that. Okay, everything will have opportunities in games, but in games as tight as this, chances have to be taken, and in the final minutes of the game as well, it's a massive moment.
But I think probably Junior Roberti maybe setting up a play here where they're going to go long. They're just looking at who's going to be where the ball's going to drop, and then what can they do from the second phase play.
Barber. Final 10 seconds now. The ball's out of play, and that will provide Wessex the opportunity for a kick-in set piece.
Yeah, I thought they may go long with there from the goalkeeper into the pivot or the wing.
Wessex are going to call their timeout as well. It just goes to emphasise really the importance of this. They've got 9 seconds when we restart to set something here on the tactics board to, well, really either make count or it finishes 5-5. You can see there Junior Roberti with the tactics board setting exactly that up.
Yeah, I think this is the beauty of futsal, Isaac, where, you know, we have these moments in the game. There was one team with an attacking opportunity, and now, as you say, with just a matter of seconds left, can Jeff Bonner find some tactic board magic and translate it onto the court for Wessex to grab a late dramatic winner?
Well, the Wessex win against Bolton last season was dramatic, but this would definitely top it.
On the tactics board, they score this goal. Can they do it in real life?
Now to put it into practice. 9 seconds. That's all they've got. It's left on the line there for Matthews. Hesitant. That didn't go to plan.
They've still got 8 seconds to have another go at it. They've probably got a variation that they'll use as well if they need it.
Yeah, well, the angle there has been changed, so you'd doubt that it's going to be the same set play. Let's see what works from it. They've got to at least get a shot away. Matthews does so, and they've scored! It's in! Wessex have done it! Well, can you believe it? Barbosa with the finish. And what a huge win this could prove to be for Wessex.
Well, Maybe a bit unfortunate for York, but you have to be there to finish it. Jordan Matthews put it into the right area. Maybe the angle just gave him a little bit more of a chance. And what a finish.
Well, he looks like he can hardly believe it himself. 6.4 seconds left. Surely there's not time for an equaliser now. Barber, great tackle by Pereira. Honestly, in the greater context of the season, that could be massive for Wessex. Blackburn blocked away again, and just look at what it means to the Wessex players. They have to shoot again, it comes all the way back. Bulmer, it's wide, it's over. It's a Wessex win when they needed it most. They pick up their first 3 points of this Tier 1 season. What a thrilling encounter. 11 goals, split 6-5 the way of Wessex. Anthony Barbosa with the winning goal. Matthews, the assist maker for it. He had a goal in there as well. But, well, there's so much to unpick, Louis. But ultimately, the 3 points go Wessex's way. The missed opportunities for Wessex don't matter. The missed chances for York, well, they definitely do. Ben O'Hanlon with some fine saves in there as well. What do you make of it all?
Well, firstly, good luck to our director, Matt, who's going to try and put a highlights package together of that. But what a finish. I mean, that is, if you're watching this game, that is futsal. What a great game. We've had some fantastic goals, but that drama, the 2 timeouts, both teams trying to win the game. And then, yes, Wessex get a bit of good fortune, but he was there in the right place to put it away. And that, we can't overemphasise how massive a win that is for Wessex, because I think if they come anything away with less than 3 points, that relegation looks really sort of, it starts to really loom up for them. But that is a massive game changer, what it does for their confidence. And they invested so much effort in trying to defend, make those blocks. But you saw Jordan Matthews at the end, it was almost like he'd won the league. Tremendous game. And I think also we've got to give huge credit to York for the part that they've played in this game. They caused Wessex so many problems, and maybe losing Jed Devine for this last part of the game has had an effect on them, but they stuck in the game and they almost got a point themselves. But what a tremendous game.
An unbelievable contest to showcase the sport of futsal. It swung one way, back the other. We mentioned, of course, that York were ahead. They'd completed the turnaround at one stage. But there was still time for Wessex to once again lift themselves up off the canvas. They, at that stage, could well have just laid down. But never say die for them, as we continue to look at all of the goals from that half. There were so many of them as well, just 2-0, remember, at half-time. 9 second-half goals, all in all.
Yeah, they'd worked that really well. I know they'll be disappointed Wessex on that, but you've got to give York some credit there. And that was the opportunity where they thought they'd blown it.
Yeah, it seemed as though that stage, at that point, that was going to be the missed chance.
And then this is the big moment.
Just look at the reaction from Anthony Barbosa. He can't believe it himself.
Yeah, Tom Blackburn just really unfortunate there. He just got caught square on his heels. He couldn't react. The ball passed through his legs, and just being in the right place at the right time.
And a really nice shot of the Wessex bench there, erupting as that ball hit the back of the net. Confirmation, Wessex pick up their first 3 points of this Tier 1 season. A 6-5 victory over their nearest league rivals in York Vikings. Earlier today, Bloomsbury beat Hartpury by 4-1. We'll now switch over to the TNT Sports 3 channel for the main TV game today, where Maidenhead United take on Bolton. But it's a win for Wessex, and what a game. Wessex with 3 points now. They're the league table. Still work to do, of course, if they are to stay up this season. But it very much has given them hope, and a game that they had to win. That's what we keep emphasising. Wessex had to win. That's exactly what they've done. Brilliant performance for them from start to finish. It wasn't without its hiccups, But they get over the line in the end. Barbosa the hero as Wessex win today. Goodbye.